Hey there, welcome to All Sorts of Learning. My name is Sarah Swartz and I'm stoked that you're here. If you're like me, I am online for goodness knows how long, and one of the realities that I have to deal with in my online classroom is disengaged students. As much as it pains me to say, yes, disengaged students are as much as a real thing in the classroom as they are online. And so something that I do to stay on top of things is to call home. I also use Class Dojo, which I love, and email, but sometimes a phone call home is what really gets the parents' attention. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna pretend read the script that I use when I call parents. Now, if you're like, oh, I would love to do that, I'll write everything down. You don't have to. I put it in the description below. It's totally free. You have access to it, plus a few notes. I'm gonna read you the script that I use when I call home, and I'm gonna give you 3 bonus tips about when you call home. And I promise if you use these tips, they're going to make your phone calls home more enjoyable and more efficient. They're gonna work better, okay? So my phone I unplugged. Here's the script for the example. My student's name is Scooby-Doo and I teach at Coolsville High School, okay? Beep, 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 boop. Hi there, this is Sarah Swartz from Coolsville High School. Are you the parent or guardian of Scooby-Doo? Great, how are you doing? Good to hear. I wanted to connect with you about Scooby's progress in his online course. Do you have a minute? Thanks for taking the time to talk. I know you're busy. I'm looking at my attendance and I'm just a little bit concerned because I noticed that Scooby has only attended 2 of our last 5 attendance morning meetings. I wanted to make sure everything was okay. And usually you'll have a little conversation here. I also wanted to bring one more thing to your attention. I was reviewing Scooby's online course and I noticed that he's only completed 3% this week when my expectation is that he completes 7. And I just wanted to make you aware of that and ask if I could help with anything like that. My concern is that as Scooby gets behind, he's going to become overwhelmed. And so I'm hoping that you and I can come up with a action step to ensure Scooby's success. What can I do to help? Great. Thank you again for taking the time to connect. I appreciate your continued support from home. Goodbye. Okay, do I always read it straight like that? No, not always, but that is kind of an outline example. Now, here are the 3 golden rules that I use when calling home. And I promise these are so useful. I did not come up with these by myself. They're mentors that have poured into me, fellow coworkers, but here they are. Please use them, live them, love them. The first one is when calling home, show empathy. Do not assume that you know all of the kids' situations or really all of the parents' situation. I know right now I have parents, single parents, working parents, parents that do not enjoy technology, parents that are being forced to work from home so that they can allow their students to do school from home as well. There are so many situations. Do not assume as well that the parent knows that the student hasn't been at their attendance or they haven't been completing their online schoolwork. When you give the information, this is fact number 2, tip number 2, use hard data. For example, attendance sheets. Be able to say, you know what, your kiddo's only been at this many meetings out of this many, or you can use their online progress. I can see, now I'm very lucky because my students are so online, I can see when they log in, how long they've been online for, how much time they sat idle. Because one of the things that I come across is parents will say, I saw them, they were online for 2 hours. And I'll say, you know what? You're right, I see that too, but you know what? It looks like 1 hour and 45 minutes. They were actually sitting idle. You can see that? Oh yeah, I can see that. And I can actually send that to my parents. I'm lucky, maybe your program isn't like that, but I would never come at it like, did you know that your kid was, sitting idle for 1 hour 45 watching Netflix? Don't assume, show empathy, and use only hard data. Tip number 3 is come up with an action step with that parent or guardian. Something that both of you are gonna do to help the student. Now, Here's your fourth one. This is a bonus, and it's the most important tip when calling home. So listen, document, document, document. I have another freebie for you in the description. Please use it. Every time you call home, document when you called, who you talked to, what you talked about, and the action step that you came up with. Because in 3 months, if Scooby's parents call me again and say, oh my gosh, I didn't know Scooby's grades were this poorly, why didn't you tell us? I can say, oh, you know what? Actually, we talked on this date at this time, and we talked about this, we talked here. These are the action steps we came up with, and they're in my record. Booyah! You're gonna want that, I promise, okay? So show empathy. Do not assume that you understand or know everything in the situation. Use hard data and come up with an action step with the parents or guardians and document everything. Okay, I hope this is helpful. If you're a first-year teacher, what other questions do you have about engaging students? If you're not a first-year teacher and you have more years of experience, tell us, what do you do to engage disengaged students in the classroom or when you call home? Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all of that jazz. Talk to you later. Bye.